Hi friends! So just like I said in my last video where I documented my first day in public accounting, I wanted to film an update on how my first week in public accounting starting virtually went. So if you're interested in my first day experience specifically, I'll go ahead and link that video for you so you can watch that. So I've been working in public accounting for a week and a day officially now. What's been interesting about that is due to unforeseen circumstances, I had to start virtually, remotely, from home. And so I thought it'd be interesting to kind of document this process and how my experience has been so far. So my first day, if you didn't want to watch the video I made about it, TLDR, went pretty well, I think. It was a lot of training and a lot of video calls. Obviously, I couldn't do it in person, so my first day was a bunch of firm-specific training, so things I needed to know about where I'm working, stuff like that. And I would say my first day, my brain did kind of melt because I honestly hadn't been doing anything all summer aside from Animal Crossing, so actually using my brain for the first time in forever was a little much, but overall it went pretty well. So day two, my second day, was basically just more of the first day. So I actually filmed a few clips on that day of my experience, so we can just go ahead and watch those now. So I just got done with my second day of work and I just wanted to do a check-in. I should have done more check-ins today, but I didn't think about it, even though I said that I was gonna make a video about my first week in public accounting. It doesn't matter. I can just film like a little recap about how my day went. So I think today was a lot better than yesterday, mainly just because I knew what I was gonna do today. And my brain doesn't feel as mushy. That's a big win. I feel like I accomplished a lot of things. I got to meet even more people, especially more like people in Florida, so that was nice. Not that the national stuff is bad, but in the local things I can like actually interact with people, which is a lot nicer. But obviously when you have a national level training, like you just dump all the people in. Even if we were doing stuff in person, it'd be just as the same if it was a big training with I don't know how many hundreds of people, and then the local breakouts would be more personal anyways, so I don't think that's a thing against onboarding virtually as opposed to onboarding in real life like how it would be normally. So that's just something I noticed and was thinking about. Today was a successful day. I'm glad to be done. I got to learn more about my first client, so that's exciting. Got to talk to more people. So I'm excited. I'm feeling a lot better than I did this time yesterday. That's another big win. So I just think getting into a work groove is gonna be good for me. Yeah, so that's how my second day went. I hope that the rest of the week continues to go well. If not, oh well. At least I still have 2 weeks of training, so it's not a big deal. We'll just see how the rest of the week goes. I think the best part of day two is getting my payroll information in, so that was a big win. And then day three, again, more training, more video calls. And we can just watch my clip from Wednesday to my third day to see how it went. So we're back with day three of working from home. So I just got off my first call and I'm gonna take a short little break just to clean up some dishes from breakfast this morning. Some advice that one of the managers gave was that you should stick to like a schedule and get ready for work so you can like separate work from home a little bit. So I think I'm gonna do that because I definitely rolled in right before my first call and I was like, this is a bad habit, I need to stop doing that. So I'm going to listen to that advice. I'm gonna wake up earlier and I'm gonna prep for work, even if work just means sitting at my kitchen counter. So day three was the day we started some audit specific training. So instead of just learning about the firm culture and policies as a whole, I was able to get into some audit specific training. So that was exciting. I did enjoy that, but obviously since I will be doing audit. And then day four, this is actually the last day I remembered to film a clip, so we can just go ahead and watch that. Good morning on day four. So I'm standing in my kitchen. I'm just gonna grab some breakfast here in a second before I log in for the day. I am really bad at making these check-ins. Like yesterday, I wanted to do one more when I got off of work because something really exciting happened. During one of my video calls, somebody's dog showed up. So that was awesome. The dog's name was Harvey. He was so cute. He reminded me of my sister's dog, so now I'm gonna hang out with Madison's dog. Yeah, honestly, everything else has been going really well. So just lots of training, just lots of reading, lots of policies. I know policy now, so that's cool. I think the training we have planned today is gonna be more like specific instead of just like, here's like an overview of all the rules. I'm gonna be doing more specific, like here's this software, here's this process, do this, do that. So that'll be nice, just like a change of pace, but obviously we have to get the basics out of the way first before we can do interesting stuff. Not to say the other stuff was boring, but I don't know, I just read a lot of policies. And then somebody's... Do you hear that? There's the weed blower out this morning. They do it every morning around this time, which is nice because it stays clean out there, but I can hear it. It's been a good week so far, so I hope I do more check-ins today, because what else is this video gonna be? We'll see how this goes. I thought I was gonna do better at filming these little bits, but I forget because I'm working. So this is not my priority. No offense, but it's not. Yeah, so that's what's going on. Day 4, Thursday. I can't believe my first week has flown by this quickly. Well, maybe not yesterday. Yesterday kind of dragged on because I was just doing stuff on my own. But today will be more involved with other people, so it'll be more fun. And then, of course, I filmed that in the morning and then didn't follow up with it throughout the whole day. I'm not really sure why. I just kind of forgot. But I did write down what I did that day. So looking at my notes, that day was just more training. Surprise, surprise. It was more audit-specific training. And what I thought was interesting about this day was the audit training we were getting was very similar to the information that I studied on the audit section of the CPA exam. It was nice to see that that information I studied for the CPA exam is actually relevant. I mean, even though it's super high level, the high level stuff I think is good for getting started, so you kind of have an idea of why you're doing things. And I'm glad to see that the information I studied for the CPA exam was actually relevant and that I might actually see it again in the profession, which I think is the point of the CPA exam. So interesting to see it actually working, you know? Day 5 was my last day and I completely forgot to film it all that day. I did think about it, but didn't end up having time. So I didn't do any check-ins that day. But again, I know what I did that day, so we can just kind of talk about it here. So Friday, again, more training. So it was more audit training, more firm training. So kind of learning about how the firm itself does its auditing, like specific softwares, specific tools we'll be using as we're auditing. So a good mix of what the firm does for itself and then a good mix of like what auditing is in general. And then this day was the first day we had like a truly social like event. We had a Teams call. So Teams is like Skype, but Microsoft's, even though Microsoft owns Skype. Anyways, it doesn't matter. This was the first day we had like a truly social event. So we've been working remotely this whole time. I haven't actually interacted with a person in person since this training began. So I'm editing this now and I don't think I made it very clear in the video, but I do think working from home is an overall good experience. So obviously I'm very lucky to be working for a firm where I'm able to completely work from home, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm glad that we're doing it and keeping people safe during this time. But I do still want to talk about some of the negative parts of working from home, but I want to make it clear that they're all worth it. I just want to try and give a full picture of how I'm feeling. Very lucky to have this. Just want to make that clear. All right, back to the video. So it was nice to have like an event where it was not a goal to learn something. It was just kind of to get to know people. So that was nice. Not to say that I didn't have good events like that earlier throughout the week, but this was the only one that was like specifically for just having like fun. So we did like a scavenger hunt like in our apartments or our house or whatever, so it was like a list of things that we had to go find, like a low pressure, low stakes thing. I think it was a really nice way to end the week for the new associates and then also some of the other people that work in my local office. So I definitely enjoyed that. And with that, that was my first week. So overall, I think it was a pretty successful first week. Lots and lots and lots of video calls, lots of time just sitting by myself, doing self-study. It honestly felt a lot like grad school. So not as hard, honestly, because we're not getting graded on anything, but trying to prep and learn stuff. I got to learn firm-specific things, like career development things, audit things, so I think it was a good mix of information that I was covering, even though I'm not sure how much of it I'm going to retain once I start actually working on clients and stuff, but obviously this training is still there, and at least we'll have some things in our brains. I think this week really went as well as it could have, so obviously in this unprecedented time that we're living in, having to start remote, it was definitely a bit lonely. Like I remember during my internship, I spent all day with people during training, and it really is like a situation of pros and cons. So like pros, the flexibility is really nice. So I obviously don't have a commute because I'm working in my living room, and that part is really nice because I am awful at getting places on time. Like I don't know what's wrong with me, I just can't do it. And being able to just roll out of bed and put on a nice shirt and slap on my eyebrows is really nice, and I'm not gonna miss out on anything or be late to anything. So I really do enjoy that. But the lack of physical human interaction is definitely something I'm missing out on, and I also think the physical separation between home and work it's something I'll miss out on, especially when client work is starting and I have a bunch of projects I should be working on all at once. So I think that'll be something I'll have to adjust to and get used to, is knowing like this is workspace, this is home space, because for me right now it's just one space. So that'll be a good adjustment period for me. So overall, I think it's been very positive, if not a little strange. My first client is a 9:30 year end, so I know it's going to be busy. So it'll be interesting to see how the working from home situation plays out with that. And I am interested to see on how this working from home situation we've had for the past few months before I started working will affect the profession moving forward. So clearly, working from home, working virtually has worked because no firm has combusted yet. I'm interested to see how this is going to affect the profession moving forward. So how sort of flexibility, how these policies are going to change in the future, if there is going to be more working from home in the future, or if firms are going to use that as like a selling point for joining them. I'm very curious to see how that goes and to see how this remote working situation will be incorporated going forward when times are more normal. So overall, I think it went really well my first week, and I'm really excited to get started on actual client work. I know when I do start, I'm going to be wishing that I'm still in training, but let's just live in my little bubble right now and be excited for it. I am excited to start doing client work in my pajamas, so a bunch of positives. So with that, thank you for watching. I hope this was interesting and you learned a little bit about what working from home starting in public accounting was like. And if you're interested in continuing to follow me on my accounting journey, then definitely hit subscribe, stick around, I'd love to have you. And with that, thank you for watching.